The year 1992 was a watershed moment. Honda's CBR 900RR Fireblade didn't just win the superbike war. It changed the terms of engagement. Honda proved that agility and a disciplined approach to weight were superior to brute force. By 1997, the superbike segment was trapped. Manufacturers desperately tried to emulate the Fireblade's lightweight magic in their own flagship models. But they were still tethered to the traditional, physically large 1,000 cubic centimeters engines. The dilemma was one of fundamental geometry. A large, long engine inevitably led to a long crankcase. This long crankcase forced designers to adopt a shorter swing arm to maintain an acceptable overall wheelbase, severely compromising rear-wheel traction and high-speed stability. The market still craved the raw, top-end thrust of a true 1,000 cubic centimeters engine, but now demanded the razor-sharp handling the Fireblade had introduced. This was the opening that Yamaha, a company often characterized by its willingness to embrace aggressive aesthetics and unconventional engineering solutions, was waiting for. They didn't aim to copy. They aimed to detonate the entire class again, proving that the 1,000 cubic centimeters bike could be light, compact, and devastatingly fast. The mission was simple: reclaim the high ground of ultimate performance. The new project was entrusted to engineer Kunihiko Miwa, the large project leader, LPL, who brought a relentless, almost fanatical focus to the task. Miwa's mandate was uncompromising: build a machine that delivered the full, unadulterated power of a full 1,000 cubic centimeters engine and the compactness, responsiveness, and handling of a 600 cubic centimeters racer. This required a ground-up redesign, completely throwing out 2 decades of conventional superbike blueprints. Miwa's philosophy was encapsulated in the motto, maximum power in a minimum package. He understood that the length of the engine was the true barrier to superior handling. A shorter engine meant the entire unit could be positioned optimally, freeing up precious space for a longer swing arm. Miwa's team went to the absolute extreme, setting a target for the engine to be 40 millimeters shorter than its closest contemporary, the FZR-1000. Achieving this required a revolutionary solution, not an iterative improvement. They needed to reinvent the engine's internal architecture. The single most revolutionary feature of the R1, and the key to solving Miwa's geometry puzzle, was the patented stacked gearbox. In virtually all prior inline-4 motorcycle designs, the main and output gearbox shafts lay horizontally, end-to-end, contributing significantly to the engine's overall length. Miwa's team redesigned the engine to position the main shaft above the output shaft, stacking them vertically. This innovative, space-saving configuration effectively shortened the engine by 40 millimeters. This wasn't just a minor optimization. It was a game-changer. The now compact engine allowed the engineers to move the whole unit forward into the chassis and, most critically, to create a significantly longer swing arm in a shorter overall wheelbase. The geometry was revolutionary: a compact front end for quick, flickable handling, coupled with an extended rear end for maximum stability and traction, the best of both worlds, previously considered impossible to achieve simultaneously. The visual impact of the 1998 YZF R1 was as shocking as its engineering. The R1 was pure, unadulterated aggression. Its angular, sharp bodywork, exposed frame elements, and narrow profile screamed track focus. This was a stark contrast to the slightly softer, more user-friendly look Honda had maintained with the Fireblade. The chassis geometry was extreme. The R1 sported a dramatically short wheelbase, 1,395 millimeters, coupled with the long, stability-enhancing swing arm. The steering rake was steep, ensuring lightning-fast steering inputs. The newly designed 998 cubic centimeters engine delivered a staggering 150 horsepower, a new benchmark for the liter class, all while weighing a dry 177 kg. This combination of raw power and lightness delivered a power-to-weight ratio that instantly obliterated everything else on the market, including the established Fireblade. The short wheelbase, coupled with its immense, instant power, made the R1 notoriously prone to lofting the front wheel under hard acceleration, a distinctive, thrilling, and sometimes intimidating trait that riders quickly learned to manage. The R1 was loud, visually aggressive, and demanded respect. It was the definitive statement against complacency in the late 90s. The immediate impact of the R1 was nothing short of total market dominance. It redefined the expectations for modern superbikes. Riders instantly recognized its potent combination of brutal acceleration and scalpel-sharp, track-ready handling. The R1 essentially took the Fireblade's core philosophy, lightness and compactness, and perfected it for the 1,000 cubic centimeters class, thereby legitimizing the litre-bike again, but on entirely new, performance-driven terms. It created a profound crisis among competitors. The R1's ingenious compact architecture, particularly the stacked gearbox, was so successful that it became the de facto standard. Every subsequent litre-bike from every major manufacturer, from Suzuki's GSX-R 1000 to Kawasaki's ZX-10R, was forced to adopt this short engine architecture to remain competitive in terms of handling and compactness. The Yamaha YZF R1 was more than just a superb bike. It was the machine that officially ended the 90s, aggressively dragged the liter class into the 21st century, and set the high water mark for the aggressive, track-focused superbikes we ride today. Thank you for joining Chrome Chronicles. If the R1 redefined aggressive track performance, what happens when a legendary Italian rival finally perfects its own masterpiece after decades of development? Subscribe to find out, and let us know in the comments. If you could ride one bike from this era, would it be the revolutionary handling of the original Fireblade, or the brutal power and compact genius of the R1? See you on the road.